Hey guys, welcome to another Millionaires React episode where we're going to go over different scenarios around partners and their finances, and we're going to give our thoughts on them. We've been talking about money and personal finance for many years now. We've gone through so many different scenarios. That's why we wanted to do this today. So let's dive right into it. First one, am I the asshole for refusing to help my partner financially? I, 43 female, have been with my partner, 50 male, for 6 years now. We have been living together for 5 of them. We are not married and we do not plan to marry in the future. I have a son, 19 male, that is currently a high school senior. My partner has a daughter, 21 female, who's going to college. The background, you need to understand the issue. When I met my partner, I was a widow of 3 years. I'm lucky enough to have a very lucrative business and some family money. Also, my late husband left a substantial estate, including the house we live in. The house is a family home, so it passed to my son as the only heir. My partner also makes good money, and the difference in our lifestyles was pretty much negligible. But while I and my late husband made sure to not spoil our son, he was responsible for keeping his room clean. Even though we have a housekeeper, he had chores during the weekends. We taught him how to cook. His allowance is reasonable. He has to save for expensive purchases like a car, PS5, etc. My current partner and his ex-wife spoil their daughter rotten. Due to an incident when we first moved in together, she demanded my son's bedroom since it was the second biggest, got rejected since it was his home and she only spends the weekend. And after some family therapy, we agreed that she will be treated like a guest by me. She'll have to follow the house rules, and that's the extent of our relationship. Now, while she's spoiled, she is a good girl, academically excellent, except for the aforementioned incident, very respectful, and just a pleasant young woman. The problem is that I did not know the extent to which my partner spent money on her. He pays some money as rent that I put into my son's college fund, and we split the common bills in half. Everything else is our own responsibility, so we don't know much about each other's finances. Now, my son is planning to do a tour of East Asia during the summer, and I was happy to give him the money to do so as a gift for getting into a very prestigious college. When my stepdaughter heard about it, she asked her dad to pay for a tour of Europe since he didn't send her on one after she got into college. He agreed because he never says no, but he came to me asking me to lend him close to $30,000 because he can't afford the trip on his own.
God damn, where is she going?
Yeah, seriously. I am not even giving that much to my son, and his plane tickets are more expensive. I said that since this wasn't an emergency, he can save and send her on the trip after she graduates college. Now he's not talking to me, saying that I am choosing favorites. I have no relationship with his daughter, so I don't know how that even is applicable, and that I'm putting money over his happiness and relationship with his daughter. So, am I the asshole? I can easily afford to lend him the full amount. I just don't want to because his reasons are not convincing enough.
Okay, that was a lot, but
That was a lot.
not obviously, in my opinion, she's not the asshole. It's her money.
Yeah.
She can do what she wants. Her and her partner are not married, so there's no legal obligation.
Exactly.
The reason for this is for a trip,
Yeah.
for a child who is old enough to maybe even figure it out on her own, and $30,000 for a trip. Because we went to Europe for 3 weeks this year, and we didn't spend anywhere near close to this number, right?
No,
Like,
not
how much
even
did we
close.
spend?
Under 10 for sure. Under 10K, probably like $6,000 maybe.
Wait, does that include the credit card points we use as well, or is that on top?
I don't even remember, to be honest. But it's
Okay.
all I'm saying is it's nowhere close to this. And we use credit card points for a lot of it that paid for a lot of the hotels. I think some of the flights, you don't need to spend anywhere close to $30,000.
And that's for one person too, right?
Yeah, that's
Here
insane.
is 2 of us.
There's 2 of us. I would say probably $5,000 at most, maybe, between the 2 of us, I think.
And when you give someone money for a loan, you expect them to do something that will have them either pay you back, right? Or there's collateral involved, like it's a real estate investment, it's a loan. Here, it's a loan for a trip.
Yeah. This, for her to give it to her son, that totally makes sense, right? You did well, let me give you this gift, right? And then
And it's her son. She can do whatever she
Yeah.
wants with her own money.
yeah, and then for the dad to do this, there was no even reason. He's just like, okay. He just keeps saying yes to her. This is one of the concerns I have when it comes to having a kid. I'm worried about the kid being spoiled, privileged, all these things. So I like the way, she was saying how, like, for her son, he still has to do different chores. He has to save for products, work for the different things. You have to give that financial education to the kid, or else they're going to turn out extremely privileged, always just thinking they can get whatever they want. So
You have to let them learn to respect money by making them earn it.
Yeah.
If they just keep giving it, then they're gonna expect that's how money is, and they'll just squander it without even creating something of their
Yeah.
own. That's why they said there's like a third generation problem, right? First generation makes money, second generation can stabilize it, third generation, poof, and
Yeah.
it starts all over again.
I think the best way to build generational wealth is really knowledge, like pass down that knowledge so that they know what to do with it when the money comes, right? Overall, with this, he's being the asshole. Agreed?
Yeah.
He's totally being the asshole. All right, let's go to the next scenario.
Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend he isn't entitled to my inheritance? Already, not the asshole. Boyfriend, inheritance? No.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, my grandpa passed away a few months ago, and I inherited a little over $4 million from his estate. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Must be nice. Okay. I had no idea he had that much money. I was honestly not expecting to receive anything, because I assumed it would all go to my mom, which is, kind of strange. But okay. After I got over the initial shock, I took the opportunity to finally quit my job, which I really hated, as I don't have any outstanding debts and can easily live off of $40,000 a year. I'm pretty introverted, and I'm more than happy to stay at home working on art, music, or other interests in gaming. Now, ever since I inherited the money, my boyfriend has been pressuring me to cover all of the rent and utilities, about $1,200 a month, for our apartment and start putting money away into a joint savings fund. Now, I would be happy to do this if we were married, but we're not. We've only been dating for a year and a half, and I would prefer to keep our finances separate. Despite not working anymore, I still pay my half of the rent every month, and I've started paying for a housekeeper to come in and clean a few times a week. So our apartment is nearly always spotless and looks great. I told my boyfriend he is entitled to my money, and he said I was being selfish for expecting him to still contribute to rent when I could easily afford to pay for the whole thing. Am I the asshole?
No, she's not the asshole. The boyfriend's definitely being the asshole. Thoughts?
Yeah, I totally agree. Just because someone else makes more money than you doesn't mean that they're obligated to pay for everything. You think she's gonna start paying for all the meals? Why? Why was she?
And they're not married.
And they're not married. Dating
Yeah.
for a year and a half is also not like super long either.
And she's like doing what's fair, right? They're splitting the rents, and she's even paying for a housekeeper. I think
I'm guessing out of her own pocket, right? Not
Yeah.
making him pay for it, because
Yeah.
that's kind of messed up. She does that. But
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, again, that money is hers to live the rest of her life off of. And I think she's being really smart with conserving it and only needing $40,000 a year, which is great because that's 1% of $4 million. So typically when you retire, you want the 4% rule, which
Yeah.
is you take 4% of your total net worth to spend every year. That way it accounts for ups and downs in the market and inflation. And that way your principal balance doesn't actually shrink. So yeah, she should be fine.
Yeah.
You should find a new boyfriend.
It's very interesting that every one of these scenarios, I haven't found the person who wrote it as the asshole. It's usually the other person.
Well, hey, we haven't found one yet.
We're still
I'm
working
sure we'll
on it.
find a
still,
few.
Yeah, we'll still see.
Where we're appalled
Yeah.
by their entitlements.
Appalled.
Yes. But in this case, it seems like the boyfriend is being unfair. You know, if I dated someone who was well off, I certainly would not expect my partner to pay for me. And, this may sound like, toxic masculinity, but as a man, like, I wouldn't feel comfortable accepting everything by
Yeah,
my
no.
partner.
I
I would
mean-
want to, I would want to contribute.
Yeah.
I'd feel like,
I mean, even me,
Yeah.
like as a female, I will offer to split the bills and things like that. I don't feel comfortable just getting everything paid by someone else.
Right.
So, all right, let's keep going here. All right, scenario number 3. Am I the asshole for not telling my boyfriend I own the building we live in? Very interesting.
I'm going to say right now, it sounds like a yes, but let's go. Let's keep going.
Okay. When I was 18, my dad gifted me a house with 2 stories. I am extremely thankful. We are not upper class, but my dad bought this house for a cheap price a long time ago. It was his grandmother's cousin's house. I know that this was an extreme privilege, and I am forever grateful for this. The layout of this building is like an apartment, but it is a house. So basically, each story has its own separate entry, its own kitchen and bathroom. I live upstairs while I rent out the downstairs. My boyfriend, 25 male, moved in with me about 3 months ago, and we have been together for 6 months. I have not asked him for money, neither for utilities or to pay me for rent. The only thing he contributes to is groceries that we split 50-50.
She's very nice.
Yeah. I have not brought up that I own the building, as it is not something I tell many people. If people ask me, I of course tell them that I own it. But if they just assume I'm a renter, then they can believe that. The topic of a landlord, the renter downstairs, or the owner of the building has not been something we have talked about. This last Tuesday, the renter came up to tell me that our freezer had stopped working. I answered the door, and my boyfriend heard us talking, I suppose. I went downstairs to take a look, and we came to the conclusion that she would buy a new one, send me the receipt, and I would give her the money. She was very grateful for the solution. When I went upstairs, my boyfriend asked if it could be fixed. I told him no, but she was going to buy a new one and I would pay for it. He looked at me like I was crazy and asked me, why the hell would I pay for her freezer? I told him that because I am her landlord and the freezer was there when she started renting. I would stand for the cost. He just asked me if I was serious, to which I said I was. He began screaming at me, asking him why the hell I would hold this information from him and that I was an evil person. I said I was sorry for not telling him, but I did not think that it would matter. He said he could not believe he was together with someone who is a landlord, that all of us just use people for money, and that the only thing we people care about is money and would rather have people be homeless than offering affordable rent. The downstairs is 1 kitchen, 1 bath, and 4 other rooms. I charge $500 in rent. I understand many people have had trouble with landlords, but I try my best to be a good one. He demanded that I give him 50% of the money I make from rent, or else I was just as bad as he thought.
I take back my earlier comment.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, this is...
Seriously. Was I really the asshole for not telling him? He has not talked to me since Tuesday, and I've tried telling him that I'm truly sorry, but he doesn't answer me at all.
So this is a very strange situation. People hate landlords because they charge money for a place to live. And yet, in this scenario, he's trying to take advantage of her emotionally and saying, I want half what you make. So, what? Like, she already doesn't charge him money to live. Yeah, so he's living rent-free.
Yeah, she's being extremely nice. And then...
Insane.
I feel like this hate towards landlords, I don't know. I just feel like people don't understand the amount of work landlords have to do too, right?
Right. I guess the thing is, people don't appreciate the fact that there is risk involved with investing. Just because we buy properties doesn't always mean that we're making profit, that we have everything easy, and that we're screwing over people for their housing.
Yeah, there have been plenty of people who buy properties and then you find tenants creating messes, like messing up things, and then it becomes like a negative cash flowing property.
Yeah. Selling drugs out of the apartment, breaking into things, inviting a lot of people in the party.
Yeah, so it's like people don't understand that landlords do have to take care of these problems. Luckily, you can hire property management companies, all these different things to help you with that. Ultimately, it's a job. There's things you have to take care of when you are being a landlord. So I think it's unfair for people to think that landlords should just charge nothing all the time and whatever. You end up having to take care of a lot of stuff if you are managing yourself.
And yeah, don't forget too, it's not like for the most part, these properties are completely free. You know, her family had to spend money to buy this, and it created generational wealth so that she could have it. Mm-hmm. In our case, you know, we worked for our money, we saved, and then we put that money as an investment to buy these properties. You know, we are creating affordable housing. Like, people are renting in this area for that price. We can't just determine the price out of thin air, right? Mm-hmm. I can't just charge someone to live in a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 800 square feet, $5,000 a month. No one would rent there. We're renting it for what people will rent it for.
Yeah, exactly.
So people aren't going homeless. Literally, we are creating housing supply.
Exactly.
And yeah, like honestly, the real big problem is that governments aren't putting in enough funding to create these large apartment complexes like we've seen in Asia. You know, in Asia, it's very densely populated. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are subsidized by the government. So if you want to complain to the government, not against landlords who offer you a whole house to yourself.
And I wouldn't say all landlords are like good, right? There's gonna be some bad ones where they don't take care of the property, they don't take care of the tenants, they're overcharging on rents. You just have to make sure that you are being a good landlord. You're trying to take care of everything, right? You're trying to not charge like crazy, like you mentioned. Average market rent, what you should do, right? Sometimes I go below market rents even, so you can be a good landlord still. I feel like we're kind of going off topic here, but like in terms of this, definitely she's totally fine, right? I don't think she's being an asshole. I guess she could have said that to him, but like the way he reacted is insane to me. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
And again, like he didn't think it was weird that he could live there for free?
Yeah, like
the whole time?
Yeah, that's already so nice, and that now you're gonna expect to be
maybe
paid
you're not the
for
landlord, maybe your dad's the landlord, but you can hate her dad.
Man.
You know, like
definitely reconsider the relationship.
Yeah, that's the one you should leave.
Yeah, you should leave. I think looking at the edits, people are saying for the people who was worried about my safety. I'm sure the comments are like literally worried about her. Yeah,
red flag.
Exactly, huge red flag.
So last one for today. My mom stole $30,000 from my savings, and I don't know what happened. Yikes.
So this one is not an am I the asshole type. I think this is just a scenario. So let's just look over this.
Last night, I checked my bank account and saw that my mom has stolen $30,000 from my savings account. The withdrawal showed up on my end as miscellaneous debit. My mom has stolen it last week, and I didn't notice until today, due to the fact that I only check my bank account once a week. If you're wondering why I don't check it more often, it's because my dad allows me to use his credit card for groceries while I'm in college and I only ever buy groceries for myself. The only time I check my bank account is when I have to pay for some expense, like bills. Now, my mom and I have not spoken in more than a year due to reasons that aren't important. I'm just emphasizing that we do not have a relationship. My dad also does not speak to her, only through lawyers. And when I first left her house at 18, my mom gave me nothing, withholding my birth certificate and IDs. And I had to painstakingly replace everything. And that's really a shame. I finally was able to find a bank where I could open an account with the forms of ID I could provide. I went to the bank alone and opened a bank account. And that bank account was opened by me. I'm the only one who signed for it, and not even my dad has any access to it whatsoever. Fast forward to today, when I called the bank after seeing all the money from my savings account gone, this money I saved up over the span of around a year. Hey, good for you for saving $30,000 in 1 year.
Yeah, great.
My dad paid me generously while working for him. Okay, never mind. I mean, yeah, props to you though. You still worked that money.
Yeah.
The bank revealed that it was my mom who took the money. The bank told me that my mom was a signer on my bank account, and that my bank account was actually a joint account.
Wow.
Wait, that sounds very strange. So this is either a problem with the bank
Yeah, what the
or a
heck?
problem with your mom. You gotta call the police on them. Now this was a revelation to me as I opened this account on my own. I don't even know how my mom knew my savings account number because again, I have not spoken to her in over a year. It's very likely that they sent your mom a piece of mail with the new information and that's what she added it. Because it happens, right?
Sus, yeah.
Banks send mail. Now they told me for this reason they could not file a dispute, but that I'd have to go to my local branch, which is not local anymore, to fix the problem, as they were the ones who transferred the money. Yeah, honestly, at that point, you do need to make that trip and go talk to the local branch. Now, of course, I was floored and confused, and I asked how a joint account is made. They said that for a joint account to be created, both people need to be present. Yes, usually. Now, I went and made my account alone. Now, I, of course, am going to have to follow all the steps after this, going to the original branch to see what happened, talking to the manager, close the account, and I'm also going to be switching banks altogether. Can someone please tell me how my mom was able to do this? Was it a mistake on my end? How likely is it that I can get my money back? So, edit.
Wow.
My mom is a very powerful woman. She's done things that are worse than this. I can't help but feel defeated already because she probably found a legal loophole.
I just feel really sad that parents would do this to their kids. I mean, with my family, we're very what's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. Sharing. We share all the time, and I feel very lucky to have that, but it's just so sad to see people steal from each other with family even. That's insane, right?
Right.
So I don't know, my heart goes out to her. It's kind of sad. Because my trust would be so broken, and I would probably have trust issues if this were the case.
Right, yeah.
But in terms of this question, you mentioned the paper trail from the bank to send it to the address. That's probably how she found the numbers. But I agree. You guys usually have to go with the person to make the joint account usually, right? Mm-hmm. That's what we did when we made our joint account. So I am curious how this happened. I guess if you say, oh, I'm the mom, maybe they just trust it. I don't know, but that's
well,
rough.
I mean, at this point, it seems like he does not have a good relationship with his mother.
What would you do?
See, for me, the bank is the one that messed up. The bank should not be giving anyone else this type of money or access to this money.
Yeah.
So, number one, the bank's not fault for this.
Can you sue?
Yeah, that's what I'll say. Lawyer up.
Yeah.
Sue the bank. But number two, because your mom did this without your permission and it can be documented as so, then that's fraud. Mm-hmm. And fraud means jail time. So then it's do you want to send your mom to jail? If you don't care about your mom, send her ass to jail, right? If you do care about your mom, hey mom, pay me back. Why?
Yeah.
Why'd you just tell it? I mean, did he talk to his mom? Is it a case where maybe the mom and dad are suing each other? The dad is finding some legal loophole to screw over the mom, and that's why the dad paid the kid more money. You know what I mean? They're hiding assets by paying the kid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
that
gosh.
that is a thing, right? Oh, I can't give you any money because the kid has it, it's not me. So the mom's that's my money. I'm just gonna get it back.
Oh.
Right? That could be a scenario. So that's something that I think they should talk about. Of course, in this scenario, as it's written, fraud, lawsuit, jail.
Yeah. All of them? You would...
I'd sue the bank for sure.
Well, yeah, I think lawsuit on the bank for sure.
But then if you sue the bank, then of course you're gonna have to sue your mom.
Yeah, that's true.
Criminal too. So she's going to jail.
Yeah.
Orange is the new black.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, this sucks. Let's see. How do you prevent something like this from happening? First of all, we recommend going with a nationwide bank because of these situations. When I was in college, I also signed up for a credit union at UCLA. And it was good. They had good interest rates and it was very convenient. But then after I got out of college, I realized that I couldn't use my debit card anywhere without charging an extra fee. It was very hard to talk to somebody because they're a small local bank. But then I moved over to like Chase, and then it was great. And then I started using online accounts, and again, it was the same thing. So
I agree. Better. Yeah, those are safer, I would say.
Yeah, honestly, again, we feel really bad for this person because honestly, when you have problems with your family, it's very hard to like grow as a person, right? Like your family helps you grow.
Yeah, and I think the relationships you have growing up makes you a more secure person if you have like a good relationship with your family. So it just kind of sucks to hear this type of stuff.
Yeah. So that was our scenarios for today. Let me know in the comment down below if you guys agree or disagree with our thoughts. And if you guys enjoyed this video, you're definitely going to want to see the other one we did right here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next one. Take care.